Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here with another episode of Moz in the Scratic. That's Moz in the Scratic, a scrap attic, where we are cleaning out our scraps. We're doing a scrap busting ephemera making challenge all this month of January. It's hosted by me, Priscilla, here at Release the Craftin. So hey, how's it going, guys? Today the prompt is Spore, and I have this really cool idea, which I didn't do because I forgot and then didn't have time. So I'm trying to replicate this idea by making my own stamp, and I have mixed feelings about the result. So let's just jump into it. What I thought was I would make like a spore print. Like I would go get some mushrooms from the farmer's market, put them on some paper, and leave them overnight or, longer if necessary, until the mushrooms release their spores and left a print on the paper. This is really cool. You should go Google it and see what it looks like. Because what happened was, by the time I got to recording this, I realized I had not bought any mushrooms and did not have time to go buy mushrooms because, as you guys know, I ran out of my backlog and therefore had to start booking it to catch up to make sure that I was still able to put out videos on time for you guys. So the option to go to the store and buy some mushrooms and then hope that I got a spore print that was usable within a day was not really on the table. So I was like, I will use this leftover bit of cardboard I got from constructing my desk, to make like a stamp that I could then make my own spore print with, make the gills, the underside of the mushroom with onto the paper. And, I did it. And I tried to leave like a little circle there for like where the stem would be. The problem is, to me, they look like the forbidden starfish. And I don't like that. Even after I got to the end and I was like, okay, I'm going to put some ink on top, make it look more grungy, I'll do this stuff on it. I don't like it. I can't unsee it now that I've had that thought, and hopefully I haven't contaminated your minds forever with the forbidden starfish, because that's all I see when I look at these now. And I'm mad at myself for having that thought in the first place. And there really wasn't any salvaging of it. I might come back and just stick a moth over where the stem is supposed to be and then be done with it. But for now, I did it. I never covered it up, which is the other thing that drives me crazy too, is that I thought it immediately. I made the first print and went, I made the second one and was like, okay, well that looks better, but, and then by the third one I was like, this is tainted and ruined, and you are a horrible person for thinking so. So, I tried to be like, well, if you fold it up, it won't look like that. And the problem is, yes, it does. So then I was like, I was going to make these into just simple little envelopes, and that's still what I did, because I had to, again, talk myself off of the ledge of, doing the most, because I was like, oh, well, these would be cool if they were little open, flip out little booklets, and so I could back them, and then I could add a tie to them, and blah, 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 blah. And by the end of it, I was like, no, just get these off of your desk, finish this as quick as possible, and move on, because I didn't have another idea. The other part of this problem was I did not have another idea for how I could replicate spores, and I have videos to make, so I didn't have time to, start over. I tried everything I could to salvage this in the way that I could, except for just covering it up, which should have really been the move. Because I think you'd still get the impression of, mushroom gills if I had just covered up the booty hole. But I didn't. So all of that being said, Spore. So far there's only been 2 prompts on this list that I was like, why would you do this to yourself? And the first one was blush. That one really got me. Spark kind of got me too. I'm not gonna lie, that I remember that one really threw me. The blush one I was just like, why would you pick pink? But that wasn't such a big deal. Spark threw me because I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. The other one that threw me was quilt, for different reasons, and you guys will see that on the day that I did quilt. I really just kind of wanted to punch myself in the head for that. Granted, I knew the obstacles with quilt going into this challenge. That was a problem when I made up this little list. But none of them have filled me with the same feeling that this particular prompt has, where I'm just like, of course you're going to get onto the TV, you're going to go on live and announce it to the world. You're going to show everybody how you made the forbidden starfish and be like, this is my craft, enjoy it. And could I have just gone without saying anything and not told you guys what I was thinking while making this? Yes. Would I have? No. You guys know that's not on brand. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think if I don't like something. And, yeah. And here's the thing. I used this, like, mop-up book page for the inside of these and was like, oh, this looks so good. And I really like it. So it's everything except for that little centerpiece. Just a little centerpiece. And, like, the first one I didn't come out as strongly of starfish as the other ones did. So, like, conceivably, if the stamp had not gotten better as time went on, I could have continued to, like, make this work with no problems. But it didn't work out that way. So here we are. So I thought, I don't really have much else to say about this project, because I'm not in love with it. I do like what I do for the belly band when we get there, this little thing that I'm crafting right now. I do like what I did for that, and I was like, great, cool, because I was like, oh, how do you make these envelopes stay closed without putting a little, like, flippy tab latch thing on them, or like a tie, or making them complicated. I was like, I'm gonna make them very simple. I'm making a simple belly band. And I didn't make a simple belly band, you guys. I made a belly band, and then I made it more complex, which was also fine, because I felt like that was going to salvage this project. I really did. But even looking back at it now, I'm like, oh my god, I hate it so much. So I thought I would share with you guys some fun mycology facts. These actually come from r/mycology, which is a Reddit subreddit that I am on frequently because I love mushrooms. So I thought I would tell you guys some mushroom stuff that I learned on r/mycology. The first one being that the largest and oldest organism on the planet is a honey fungus. It is Armillaria solidipes, I think is how you say it. It's over 2,000 acres and thought to be over 2,000 years old, which is crazy. Crazy. Largest and oldest organism on the planet is a fungus. Let me think. What else is a cool fact? Mushrooms are the only vegan food that eat meat. Oyster mushrooms actually are carnivores. They eat nematodes, which are the little round like worms that you can kind of see in the soil and stuff. And they actually inject a protein to paralyze the nematode, and then they dissolve it on their insides. So do with that what you will. But it is really cool. Let me see. Mycorrhizal. I'm really bad at scientific. I'm really bad at words. Words are really hard. Scientific words harder. But mycorrhizal fungi are the reason that we have forest. The nutrient exchanges between fungi and trees help both of them grow stronger, which is really neat. If you see a forest, there is an entire mycelium network underneath it, helping it grow. So mushrooms help forests grow. There are over 2,000 new species of fungi discovered each year on average, which is an absurd amount. Like, evolutionarily speaking, that is a ridiculous amount. Imagine if there were 2,000 new bird species discovered every year. 2,000 birds. Just random new birds that they kept finding. It's crazy. That's how mushrooms work. Mushrooms are actually more closely related to people and animals in general than they are to plants. They have more in common with us than they do with plants. And they are really good carbon traps. They help fight soil desertification, which is when the land turns into a desert. They're the entire reason that we can live on this planet. I love mushrooms, guys. Mushrooms are so cool. There is a documentary, which I cannot remember, but I'm sure some of you guys have heard of it. But it's about mushrooms and how important they are, and it is mind-blowing. If I remember, I'm really bad at remembering. I will put it in the descriptions or in the comments. There's a joke in the subreddit that is every mushroom is edible once, which is a joke because mushrooms are oftentimes toxic. So yeah, do with that what you will. But yeah, you can eat it once. It might be the last time. Hold on, I'm looking for more facts that are interesting. Hold on. Oh, here's a fun one. The reason why you see mushrooms as Christmas decorations is that fly agaric was traditionally hung on branches to dry out over the winter, and to be used at a later date. So that's why we see mushrooms pop up around Christmas time. If you ever wondered why they pop up, or why we put them on Yule logs and stuff like that, that is why. There are fungi that can bind gold. One of them is Fusarium oxysporum. And there's actually a company in Australia that uses these fungi to recycle gold from electrical waste, which is neat. On that same subject, a couple of mushrooms, including oyster mushrooms, have been known to break down multiple hydrocarbons, such as motor oil, for environmental remediation. And you can even train mushrooms to eat plastic. So some 3D printers have been using mushrooms to eat their plastic scrap waste. There are species of mushrooms, in fact 80 of them, that are bioluminescent, which means that they glow in the dark. They can glow so brightly that sometimes they're called electric mushrooms, and you can even use some of them as torches. That's how bright some of them glow. They use luciferins, which is a light-emitting compound, to glow and attract insects. And then they use the insects to spread their spores to new locations, which is how they grow and survive. If you guys have ever seen The Last of Us, the cordyceps mushroom is also known as a like the zombie fungus. It is because it does that. It infects ants with their spores, and it causes them to become brainwashed and disoriented, and then it tells them to leave their nest and go up as high as they possibly can go on like a stem, and then they burst out of the ant's head so that they can spread their spores farther, because the higher up the ant can go, the farther the spore range will be. And it is the mushroom that The Last of Us has based their zombies on. Mushrooms can survive in outer space. There's actually studies where they have brought the mushrooms to space, and they can survive extremely high doses of radiation. And here's one I just know off the top of my head. There are mushrooms growing at Chernobyl, which is a good sign, because it seems like they are part of the, like, what's it called? Deradiation of the place. They are actively eating up radiation in that place, which is really neat and cool. Chaga mushrooms are full of the world's greatest, they are the world's greatest source of antioxidants. Antioxidants help you fight free radicals and help lower stress and promote overall well-being, and chaga mushrooms are chock full of them. And yeah, I guess that's the last mushroom fact I have for you, because we're at the end of the video. Check out the hashtag Moz and the Scratic, see what we make tomorrow. I promise I will not have fun facts or forbidden starfish for you in the next one. But until next time, guys, happy crafting. I appreciate your faces. Thanks for hanging in with me. And goodbye.